Good morning. Welcome to the channel. Today we have got a really exciting history adventure with the kids. They have an unexpected day off from school because today is the 7th of May, which is local election day here, and their school is being used as a polling station, so they can't go to school. So instead, we are heading uptown for a historical adventure. But first, I have a very important civic duty to do. After breakfast, we took a quick walk up to our local polling station, which in our case is our local church, where the kids had actually gone to preschool, so they love coming here. Walked in, and as we were walking along, we were talking about what we were doing today, why it was important that we go and vote, and particularly why it's important for women to vote. So we went in, cast our vote, explained to them how it worked, and then of course we had to go and get a coffee on our way to the train. My children always laugh at me for this because I cannot get on a train journey without a cup of coffee. One of the things I love about the fact that we live in London is that it is so easy to get around, it's so easy to go and have these days out. So we hopped on the train, then onto the tube. So you might recognise this, the Elizabeth Tower with Big Ben, which is the bell in top. And there is Our Lady Boudica on top of her statue. As we crossed the river, I caught sight of this, and I had forgotten about this place, but this is the National COVID Memorial. And on this wall are all these individually painted hearts, and they each represent somebody who died from COVID-19. All right, so the ballot has been cast, we've done our civic duty, and we've got the train up into town for our history adventure. And you might not know where we are, but you might recognise this place, Westminster Palace. We have come to St Thomas's Hospital to go to the Florence Nightingale Museum. So we always are looking out for history adventures and way for the kids to learn more about the history of our country and the history of birth and pregnancy and medicine. And seeing the Florence Nightingale Museum felt like a great thing to do today. So come, let's go and explore it together. Before we headed into the museum though, we had to stop by and look at Mary Seacole's statue in the grounds of the hospital. And then it was on to the museum. It's tucked just underneath the hospital, right by the car park, but very easy to find if you know it's there. And here you can see the entrance prices. They do also do discounts for NHS staff, the blue light discount. So if you do have a blue light card, there is a discount available for you. The museum is set out in a few zones. This zone is about her early life, growing up, her education, which was fairly standard for women of her time up to a point. So she had governesses when she was younger, and then her father took over her education. One thing I love about museums in London is they quite often have these family trails, and this is the one that was available today, so we picked one up for the kids. And while we were there was a school party going on, so there was somebody dressed up as Florence Nightingale telling her story, which the kids absolutely loved, but you couldn't film. These are some items from her childhood and from her education. Always on the lookout for anything to do with birth history, and here we have a little bit about wet nursing and the origin of the word nurse. There was a dress-up section, so of course I had to put a little cap on, and the kids got dressed up as well. Uniforms, and this is the most famous thing in there. This is Florence Nightingale's lamp, the Lady of the Lamp, and this was her actual one that she used. There is a little exhibition around Mary Seacole, so in this other section this is to do with the Crimean War, and it talks much more about what the hospital situation was like and what Florence Nightingale did. And then we have Florence after the war, when she returned home. She returned home unwell and pretty much spent the rest of her life unwell. And here they had a mock-up of her bedroom from near the end of her life and what it looked like. And they even had a little box that had her signature perfume in, so you could smell what she would have smelled like, which I suppose is a bit strange when you think about it. This isn't just a museum about Florence Nightingale, it's also a museum about nursing, and they had this lovely installation around the outside of the museum where you could go and see images from so many different generations of nurses, and how the uniforms have changed, how the practice of nursing has changed, the types of nursing have changed, and the opportunities available to nurses have changed. But I absolutely loved this little installation and had a good look round at that. They had a couple of special exhibitions exhibitions on as well at the moment. So this one was about designing a hospital and what things people now look at when designing a hospital. And this exhibition was so cool, given that we had been talking about the suffragettes that morning while we went and cast our votes, or while I went and cast my vote. There was a whole section about a nurse who had supported the suffragettes and helped nurse them back to health after being force-fed or going on hunger strike. Afterwards, we went for a little walk to go and find somewhere for lunch and happened upon the General Lying In Hospital, which is somewhere I've been meaning to go and have a look at for a really long time. And again, I'd forgotten it was there, and this is one of the things that I love about London. You just turn a corner and there is some history. Then it was time to get the train home.